How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we are going to take a look at if you can actually save money using the Easy Way Station and Fruit Shop here by Mantrid. And you may be thinking, Driver, of course you're going to be able to save money. You get to save 30% off everything you buy out of here. Well, that's kind of true, but it's going to take a bit, I have a feeling. The reason is because this one that's 30% off, it costs $42,000 to put down on the ground. So you have that initial cost already right off the bat. How many seeds or how much lime or how much fertilizer could you buy with that $42,000 from the shop? That's what we're going to be taking a look at here today. So the first thing I wanted to do was see exactly how much these products cost for 8,000 liters, because when I was doing my testing, I used the TLX 2020 and I used the 8,000 liter tipper bed. So the first thing I looked at was lime, and that's going to cost $1,800 for 8,000 liters of lime. The next thing I looked at was solid fertilizer. That's going to be $15,360, and seeds was going to be $7,200. So then I came over to the multifruit buying station as part of the French farm building spec right here by Omatana, and I did the exact same thing. Lime was actually only going to be $1,439. Now that is for 8,000 liters. Mineral fertilizer was $12,800. and seeds was $71.99. So basically $7,200, the exact same price as what it was going to cost me from the store. So I didn't save anything on the seeds, but on the mineral fertilizer and the lime, we definitely saved some money. So then to confirm that that station over there was actually giving me the base price of the map, I came over here to this lime point, which is built into the map, and the lime cost me $1,439. So exactly the same price as the multi-fruit station out of the French pack. So I was like, all right, good. That's my constant. And we looked at the 10% premium and the 10% off, and they just, they're good, but I don't think they're ones that you want to use to save a lot of money. And we're going to get into kind of exactly why here in a little bit, but I wanted to go ahead and show you the values here that we had when using our 30% off station. So for the lime, we had $1,259. For the mineral fertilizer, we had $8,959. And for the seeds, we had $4,535. Pretty good prices there, honestly. But once again, $42,000 to put this down on your map. That's without any terraforming either. And it's kind of a big footprint. You can see how big this footprint is compared to that. It's if you don't have a flat spot, it's going to cost you even additional money to be able to make that flat before you can put this down. So the next thing I wanted to know is how much of a difference that was per 1,000 liters. Every time I always look at all my values, I'm always like, how much is that per 1,000? So on the lime, that was actually going to be $22.50 roughly whenever you figure that out, because it was $180. I divided that by 8, and that comes out to 22.5 per 1,000 liters on the lime. Mineral fertilizer, it was about $480, and on the seeds it was about $333, and that's all per 1,000 liters of product. And then I really started to think, like, well, how long is this going to take me to pay off if I'm actually using it here? Because for only $22 savings per 1,000 liters, how many liters am I going to have to use to actually pay for that silo to be even placed there on the map? I was like, well, wait, I've got fertilizer too that's going to go down twice, and I've got seeds that I'm going to have to use once. So I was like, how can I figure this out? And I remembered that I had the field calculator right here. It actually tells me how much product you're going to need for each field. Now, this is a PC only mod right now, but I used it to be able to figure in exactly how big of an area I would need to be able to pay for all my stuff. So I kind of had to figure out, how much product I'm using per hectare, and right here are all these values. So what I did is I came down here to like this one right here. You can see the size is 1.87 hectares. Lime is a little bit over 6,000 liters. My fertilizer, that's going to be a little bit over 400 liters. And for the seeds, I actually had to reference an older chart that I had released a few months ago that showed that each seed type has a different value of how many seeds you're going to use. But I went ahead and picked 500 because that's what wheat is. It's like the most common base game crop, right? So 500 liters of seed per hectare is what you're going to need. Now, every bit of this information is before precision farming comes out. I will relook at all this information once precision farming is released on April 19th, 2022, about 3 weeks from now, maybe 4. I don't know, something like that. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys can tell. I am super excited about precision farming. We're going to go back. We're going to look at all this information once again, but I wanted to get this to you guys right now because it's really intriguing to me. Does this thing actually pay off? And what I found out for lime is that if you're comparing it to base game price, all right, that's $1,439. It's going to be about $73 savings per hectare that you're applying lime on your fields. Now, if you're comparing that to the store, if you buy everything from the store, it's going to be about $219. So not too bad. You know, that's a little bit of a good savings. And a hectare, it's not an acre, that is a hectare. So it's a much, much bigger area. Mineral fertilizer, I did the exact same thing. If you're going to compare it back to the MAP price, the base MAP price, it's $104 per hectare. And if you're comparing it to the store price, it's going to be $173. And last with seeds, and you're going to save $167 because the MAP price and the store price were within $1. So it's $167 if you're using wheat, which is 500 liters per hectare. Some of them were as low as 200 liters per hectare, and some of them, like sugarcane and some of those other ones, were really, really high up there. Those, you're definitely going to see a lot more savings from this than you would if you were buying it off from the store. But I wanted to run 500 because that's wheat. It's very common. And the last thing I wanted to take a look at here was how many times I was going to have to harvest my fields, or how big my farm was going to need to be to actually make this worth it. So if I'm comparing everything back to base prices, I was going to need to harvest 94 hectares to be able to make this worth it. Now, that is a very big farm, and I don't think I'm ever going to have one that big playing solo. So I wanted to compare back to the big bag pallets, right? The pallets that we looked at before. I was like, well, how many is that? Because that's typically what I use. And that was going to be 70 hectares. I was like, all right, so if I've only got, you know, say a few fields on my map, how many times am I going to have to actually harvest that? Well, I went in and I figured, okay, this right here is a decent sized starting farm. You know what I mean? There's quite a few things. Now, it's bigger than some of the starting farms, but I think that quite a few maps are going to have something about this size right here. And it's about 5 hectares, just a little bit over. So I was like, okay, how many times are we going to have to harvest this? 21 times. I'm going to have to harvest this area right here 21 times to make it kind of a break-even point. Now, this isn't exact because I know there's other factors and things like that. Just looking at the price of the minerals and the seeds, it's roughly about 21 times. And I was like, well, that's a lot. That's 21 years of play. I don't think I've ever gone 21 years. So I was like, okay, what if I have a little bit bigger farm? Okay, because on Elm Creek here, there's a lot of fields. And on a lot of the other maps, you don't have a lot of this empty space. You just have a lot of fields. So I was like, okay, well, how much is that going to be? So what I did is I figured out field 36 all the way to field 55 here. Now it's roughly about 28 hectares. And I was like, okay, how many times am I going to have to harvest that? 4 times. I'm like, that's doable. That's definitely doable. I think I can get through 4 years. And that means that this right here is absolutely worth it if you're going to get through multiple years of play like that, or if you have a bigger farm. Now, if you're talking that you've got, you know, almost 50 hectares, then you can cut that down into just 2 times, and it's going to pay for yourself. You know, if you're just jumping into a map for just a short play, maybe only a couple years, I really don't know if this is going to pay off for you. Now, if you're buying TMR and you're buying, you know, pig food and you're buying, you know, a lot of the other things in here, then yeah, you're going to save money a lot quicker and it's going to pay for itself a lot quicker. I was only wanting to look at lime, seeds, and mineral fertilizer. So I think I'm really going to try and use this on a few of my playthroughs right here because it's really awesome. It's a toss up between this and 82s, but I just feel like this one right here seems a little bit more like you would actually see this, you know what I mean, out in the wild, in the real world somewhere. Nothing against David's. David's 25% off. It's really, really cool. It's just, if I can get that extra 5%, I think I'm going to go for it. You know, like I said, I'm not going to use it all the time. It's probably going to be a mixture between the two. It's a fantastic mod. I really think everybody should at least try it out a little bit. I mean, all the different things that it does here. You got your washing station. You've got your scales. So you can see exactly how much you weigh. I think it's really, really awesome. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you would. If you want to be kept up to date on my other testing videos or showcase videos like this one right here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you do, hit the notification bell too. And while you're waiting on those other videos, go ahead and check out one of these other two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.